Here's an idea for painting a spring landscape. Take your mop brush and with some dark yellow and white on my 11 by 14 canvas board, let's do a sunset. So a couple strokes back and forth of that color, and then I'm going to dip right into pink and overlap it with that yellow while it's still wet, blending it down, and then bringing the pink up even further. You can even blend both of those colors down to make the yellow even deeper, but that's up to you. Now with both of those colors on my brush then, I'm going to also dip into red and then blend that down into the pink just a little bit and go all the way up to the top. It's important you do this while it is all still wet. Now grab a cotton ball. I really wanted to try painting with cotton balls today, and let's try doing clouds with them. Because they're fluffy like a cloud, I think it's gonna work. Just gonna take a little bit of white paint on my cotton ball and just smudge it around in little circles. And oh, yep, there's a cloud. Oh, that's fun. So now while the paint rubs off onto the canvas, it'll get fainter as you get out towards the edge, so you can really blend out those edges without too much work. That really looks like a cloud. That was super easy. So let's dip back in for some more white and continue that cloud around. Notice it's not an exact line. It is lumpy and bumpy like clouds are. You can do whatever shapes you want. Let's do some down here on the right. It does help that the background is mostly dry. If you keep the background wet while you do this, the clouds would just fade in a little bit more. So that's up to you. Now Valentine's Day is coming up, so why don't we hide a few hearts in the clouds? You don't have to do this, but I thought it would be fun. So I'm just shaping a heart and then having the edge fade off to another heart down here. Make sure while you're doing this that you aren't having too much paint on the cotton ball because you don't want your clouds to turn into blobs. But you can do whatever shapes you want. It doesn't have to be hearts. It could be any shapes, like if you've gone cloud watching and just use your imagination. Have fun with it. I'm gonna make this heart up here a little bit bigger. And if you want to add highlights to make your clouds brighter in some areas, you can dip in for more white and just bounce in a couple areas to highlight them. There we go. If I were to do this again, I would probably move the hearts up a little bit further because of what we're going to do next, but that's okay. It's super cute. Now taking a fine sea sponge with some green and a dark teal, let's bounce in a little bit of texture on the horizon line to make trees. Now, I like to add texture in this paint too with a toothpick usually, but I'm going to use a plastic fork this time because it's going to go 4 times as fast. You want to make sure you scratch up into the paint really quickly before it dries, and it'll lift up some of that color and give you a little bit of texture, almost like tree trunks in the distance. The fork just goes 4 times faster than a toothpick. There we go. So I'm going to do that all the way across, making sure they're not a perfectly straight line. And then really quick before it dries, do those fork textures to add the tree trunks. Now the bottoms of the trees do look funny, so let's plant them by taking a dark green on your mop brush and just do a line right underneath them to clean that up, and then do back and forth strokes all the way down to the bottom. This is just the underpainting of your background. You may need to do more than one coat to get it solid, and then make sure you dry it really good. When your trees are dry, another thing you can do is add a highlight layer to them. So I'm taking my sponge again with just some of the teal blue and bouncing on just a little bit on the tops of the trees. This also gives you a chance to shape them just a little bit more. Now, I want to add some flowers, and to do this, I'm going to use one of my unconventional brushes. This is actually a crease makeup brush, and I like it because it has a soft, rounded edge. You could technically just use another paintbrush, like a round brush, but this one gives you a nice, perfect little round circle. When you lightly tap it with a color and white together, looks like flowers in the distance. You could also use probably something like a cotton swab. I'm just lightly tapping the color in different patterns here. See how the lighter I tap, the smaller the flower is, and the harder the tap, the bigger the flower is. Do clusters. I'm leaving spaces so I have room for other color flowers as well. Also growing them up in front of the trees, but you don't want to do too many flowers and lose your trees either. We're working our way down the painting if you haven't noticed. Let's see, I'm also going to add some red. I have red and white on my brush at the same time, and I'm just lightly bouncing in different clusters. You can do as many color flowers as you want. See, I'm adding some light pink ones in, and let's even do some dark yellow ones to tie in the yellow in the sky. I like that too. Let's even do some hot pink ones for Valentine's Day. Ooh, see, I always go overboard. This is a lot, but it's so much fun. Okay, Now, you could leave them uneven like this, but I do want to do some highlighting in the grass, so I'm taking the brush again with some white mixed in with my dark green. I'm going to just plant the bottoms of them again like we did with the trees, and then do a couple back and forth strokes to make it a brighter green in the middle. Even add a little tint of the pink from the flowers and the sky as well, ties all of that in too. I like that. Okay, now let's add grass. And to do this, I'm actually going to turn my painting upside down. This is a trick I tried to show everybody last year, so I'm going to show you again as a reminder. If you struggle doing the upward stroke, you can take a brush. This is a size 3 round brush. And see how I have green and white on the brush? I'm just doing downward strokes. I always say you don't want to start your grass on the top and pull down because you won't get those little points. So turning the painting upside down allows you to get the points without having to do that motion. For some reason, pulling down seems to be easier for some people. So I did that all the way across, turned it upside down again. Hey, it looks pretty good. Notice all the grass is all different heights. Maybe I'm going to take my cotton ball with a little bit of yellow and add some smudges in those hearts to highlight them. Even add another little cloud over here. Now, if you like it the way it is, stop right there, but here's a couple more details you could do. I have to, out of curiosity, add one of my signature suns with my pouncer, just taking it a little bit of dark yellow and white, pressing down and twisting. There we go. You could also add a couple birds in the sky. That's another option. You also don't have to do this, but I'm adding a couple splatters of gray paint. It's not snow, I call it bugs or haze. And now I think that the flower line in the back is a little bit too straight. So I'm bouncing in a little bit of white with my fine sea sponge just to make it a little less even. And then I'm going to add a couple more flowers in that as well. Again, this is totally optional. It's all up to you how many details you do. This is a great painting to kick off the spring season coming up, even though I know it's still cold and snowy outside. Let's start to imagine warmer weather. Have fun, happy painting everybody, and if you like this tutorial, follow me for more.